It was a typical weekday afternoon when a man walked into a bustling city bank. Dressed casually in a plain hoodie and jeans, he blended easily with the crowd. But something was different this time. As he moved toward the teller area, a security guard's eyes locked on him, suspicious and unyielding. Without any warning or reason, the guard started to follow closely. The tension in the room shifted instantly, as if the calm before a storm. No one knew why the man had suddenly drawn such intense scrutiny, but it was clear this was no ordinary visit. Before he could reach the counter, the security guard stepped forward and firmly grabbed his arm. "You can't be here," the guard said, voice cold and commanding. The man remained calm, but confused. Bank employees exchanged uneasy glances, some whispering among themselves, others wide-eyed with surprise. The guard didn't ask for any identification or verify the man's reason for being there. Instead, he pulled him toward the exit, ignoring the growing questions from staff and customers alike. The man didn't resist. He simply allowed himself to be escorted out, maintaining a quiet dignity despite the humiliation. No one could explain why this was happening, until the truth came to light. The man was Marcus Hill, a black entrepreneur known in the city for his groundbreaking financial company. Although his appearance was humble and unassuming, Marcus controlled over $2.6 billion in deposits at this very bank. He had been a loyal client for over a decade, preferring face-to-face banking over digital transactions. His visits were frequent, personal moments in an otherwise impersonal industry. Marcus's story was one of hard work and perseverance, rising from modest beginnings to immense success. But none of that mattered to the security guard that day. It wasn't long after Marcus was pushed out that the bank's staff began to realize their mistake. Whispers turned into urgent calls. "That was Marcus Hill," someone finally admitted, voice trembling. Panic spread quickly through the branch and up the chain of command. The same man who had just been forcibly removed was one of their biggest clients, with billions in deposits and investments. Meanwhile, Marcus calmly walked to his car, unfazed by the chaos behind him. Pulling out his phone, he made a single call to his private banking officer. The quiet authority in his voice sent shockwaves through the bank's headquarters. The power balance was about to shift dramatically, and no one was ready for what came next. Within hours, Marcus's team began transferring every dollar they had on deposit to a competitor bank, one that respected all clients regardless of appearance. The numbers were staggering. $2.6 billion moved swiftly, wiping out most of the bank's holdings with Marcus's accounts. The rival institution welcomed him with open arms, offering the dignity and respect he deserved. Back at the original bank, executives scrambled to stop the bleeding, but the damage was done. Calls flew between departments, damage control plans were drafted, but Marcus's decision was final. The fallout was immediate and severe, both financially and reputationally. In the days that followed, the bank launched an internal investigation. Several employees, including the regional manager and the security guard, were suspended or terminated. The branch temporarily closed for review. Public backlash grew, forcing the bank's CEO to issue a formal apology to Marcus and the community. Yet, even with the apology, the bank struggled to rebuild its reputation, a costly lesson in respect and accountability. Marcus refused to simply accept the bank's apology. Instead, he used the moment to demand accountability and respect, not just for himself, but for everyone treated unfairly because of how they look. Publicly, he spoke out against discrimination and the harmful assumptions people make based on appearance. To turn his experience into something positive, Marcus donated $10 million to a foundation dedicated to helping young black entrepreneurs gain access to funding and financial education. "Let's build our own tables," he said, showing that true power comes from lifting others up and creating opportunities where none existed before. This story reminds us that dignity and respect are not about appearances or wealth. Sometimes the richest people walk in quietly, carrying more than money. They carry resilience, pride, and the power to change systems. Marcus's experience shows how unjust judgment can lead to loss, but also how grace and strength can turn humiliation into transformation. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and join the conversation. Together, we can open more eyes and build a fairer future.